I again reiterate the congratulations to my honourable friend, the member for North West Durham, on an excellent speech outlining some of the range of issues that we have with this work capability assessment process. And it does feel, Sir Henry, that it is, déjà vu. We are here yet again to say and to argue the current system of work capability assessment is just not fit for purpose. We can use the latest available data that tells us that nearly 3 out of 4 claimants who appeal their assessment decision, telling them that they're fit for work, will be overturned. We can reference the 5 reviews of work capability assessment over the last 10 years, which repeatedly raise issues with the assessment process. And that ranges from medical reports being mislaid to blatant lies in assessment reports. We can look at the Work and Pension Select Committee report from last year on ESA and PIP assessment, which saw an unprecedented number, 3,500 individuals, share their experience in terms of what they had been through, and my honourable friend described that so relevantly. We can discuss the death rates for people on ESA and before that IB, which in 2013 was 4.3 times that of the general population, increasing from 3.6 in 2003, again showing the levels of sickness and ill health of people in this group. As has already been said, this is a poorly group of people and they deserve to be listened to and respected. And we can talk about the peer review research that estimated that between 2010 and 2013, work capability assessment was independently associated with an additional 590 suicides, 280,000 cases of self-reported ill health, 525,000 additional antidepressant scripts. So Henry, anyone watching this debate will be thinking, what on earth is the point? Because the government to date has taken not a jot of notice. Little has changed. And we know how this is affecting people, as we've already heard. People living in fear and dread of the envelope falling on dropping on the doormat, inviting them for their work capability assessment. The government has said that they want to amalgamate the work capability and PIP assessments by 2021. They say they want a more personalised approach and will involve disabled people in this process. So can I ask the Minister, what disabled people's organisations, I appreciate charities might have been involved and they are very important to be involved, but what DPOs and disabled people themselves have actually been involved? Have they been involved in the decision to put the contracts for this new assessment process out to tender? That's already happened. We had 1 week and then the contract went out to tender for this new process. And what are they going to do in the meantime while this government orchestrated, it is a government policy, government orchestrated harm continues? I'm really concerned, and I hope the Minister can respond to this, because up to date there has been little but warm words and platitudes. On Monday, as we've heard, we learned that Stephen Smith, the Liverpool man whose emaciated body, which is reminiscent of somebody being found in a concentration camp, not of 21st century Britain, had died as a result of multiple organ failure after being found fit for work. And we know he's not the first. We heard from our honourable friend Jeff Hayward, who died in 2018 of a heart attack, 7 days before a tribunal overturned a decision that he was fit for work. Jimmy Ballantyne, again in 2018, committed suicide after being found fit for work, along with Amy Nice, Kevin Dooley and Brian Bailey. Jodie Whiting, my honourable friend's constituent, Elaine Morrell, Daniela Obeng, Brian Sycamore, all committed suicide in 2017 as a result of being found fit for work. Mark Schofield, in July 2017, a terminal cancer patient, didn't receive any universal credit before he died in spite of his illness. Chris Gold in 2017 was also found fit for work following a stroke. He was facing foreclosure on his home when he died as he couldn't work. Lawrence Bond died in 2017, collapsing and dying on the street after being found fit for work. Julia Kelly in 2015 committed suicide, as did Ben MacDonald in 2015. Chris Smith, who had cancer, was found fit for work and was right up until his death, despite terminal cancer. David Clapson died in 2014. Michael Connolly in 2014. George from Chesterfield as a result of a heart attack, again being found fit for work. Robert Barlow, again a terminal claimant, died after losing his ESA. David Barr in 2014. Trevor Druckard, Sean Pilkington, Terry McGarvey, Lee Robinson, Robert Christian, Jacqueline Harris, Nicholas Peter Parker, and David Groves. Sir Henry, this isn't an exhaustive list, but these names are an absolute indictment on this government and this government's policy and the lack of change that has happened as a result of these deaths. There needs to be an independent inquiry, just as Jodie Whiting's mother has said, into the deaths of claimant being found fit for work. Until then it should be a moratorium on all reassessments. And for new assessments, as has already been said, medical evidence should be the primary data that is used, not these blatantly flawed assessment processes. Sir Henry, any government's first duty, I'm sure you will agree, is to protect their citizens. For our disabled citizens, this government has spectacularly failed them. Like millions of people across the country, I condemn the attacks in Sri Lanka, and I share concerns about the emergency that is climate change. But the deaths of disabled people as a result of a government policy are nothing more than a scandal. And I challenge each and every one of us in this room and outside to rise and say to them, enough is enough.